to talk to you guys about getting your home ready during the COVID-19 pandemic. This is a scary time for everyone, but there is a way to be as prepared as you possibly can. This information comes straight from the CDC, and you can find it at cdc.gov/2019-NCOV. And I hope that this information helps give you all comfort and know that we can make it through. So the CDC highly recommends that you guys have a plan of action when it comes to getting your home ready. And what that means is you're going to talk to the people who need to be included in your plan. So that could be members of the house, so all members of the house, spouses, partners, grandparents, anyone that lives in the home, other relatives that may live close by, and friends that live close by, so that they are included and know what your plan of action is as a family when it comes to dealing with COVID-19. You need to plan for ways to care for those who may be at greater risk for serious complications associated with COVID-19, and those members of your household may be those with chronic cardiovascular or respiratory issues, underlying health conditions, and those who are immunocompromised, just to name a few. You want to try to get to know your neighbors as much as possible. A lot of neighborhoods are very socially active on Facebook and on other social media websites that give updates about what's going on in their neighborhood. So find a way to chat with your neighbors or give them a phone call. Of course, we want to social distance with our neighbors, but we also need to get to know them so that we understand if there is an outbreak in our neighborhood. You need to identify different organizations that provide aid in your community. So that could be your local churches, food banks, or other nonprofits that typically you wouldn't think to ask for help, but sometimes they, and most often during times of crisis like this, they do step up to help. Consider making an emergency contact list, especially if you are the person that's normally preparing everything. You need to make an emergency contact list for others who may not know what to do in the event that you're not able to make a decision. So on that emergency contact list, you might want to have family or friends that are close by, neighbors that you trust, carpool drivers that you may know in case you may have come in contact with them in the event that you find out that you test positive for COVID-19. You want to have a list of your healthcare providers, teachers, employers, numbers for the public health department in your area, and other local resources that will benefit your family. A good rule of thumb in a household, especially one with children, is to practice good personal health habits and plan for home-based actions. So practicing preventative actions every day will help decrease the likelihood of transmission within the home. So we want to avoid close contact with people who are sick, and we want to stay home when we're sick. Unless we have shortness of breath, then we want to seek care from a healthcare professional, and that's when we would leave our home. If you do have a sneeze or a cough, the CDC recommends that you get and you use tissues to cover those coughs and dispose of them properly, and to clean frequently touched surfaces and objects daily. So that can be tables, countertops, light switches, doorknobs, and cabinet handles. And if a surface is dirty, it should be cleaned with detergent and water prior to disinfecting. So a lot of household cleaners, specifically Lysol and Clorox, have, just to name a few, they have specific instructions on what to do when you want to clean, what to do when you want to disinfect, and what you do when you want to sanitize. And those are different processes that they have instructions on the back of the bottle typically. You want to wash your hands with soap and water for at least 20 seconds before eating, after blowing your nose, coughing or sneezing, and after going to the bathroom. Next, we need to choose a room in our home for those so we can separate those who are sick from others who are healthy. And most of the time it's just an extra bedroom, but we don't want them like in a living room or in our kitchen, somewhere where everyone is going to need access to it. We want to make sure that they're closed off so that they can get healthy without infecting others. If your child is still at school or in a child care facility and you are not in a community that has a shelter in place, we need to learn about emergency operation plans at their facilities. And sometimes if they are not sure, your local public health official probably has an idea. If you're still working, you need to learn about your employer's emergency operation plan as well. If you are in a community that has an outbreak of COVID-19, it is time for you to act. So during those outbreaks in your community, protect yourselves and others by staying home from work, school, and all activities if you have COVID-19 symptoms. Keep away from others who are sick and limit close contact with others as much as possible, about 6 feet. And then put your household plan into action. So you need to stay informed about local COVID situations in your community. Stay home if you are sick. Continue practicing everyday preventative actions. And use separate rooms and bathrooms you prepared for your household members when they're sick, if possible. You need to stay in touch with those that you care about and important people by phone or email. And make sure you take care of your emotional health of all of your household members. And know that children respond differently to stressful situations than adults. So one of our LPAs in North Carolina, Emily Hooker, she did a video on how to be a good listener and support your child during this time, and it's really supportive and gives parents a great idea of what to do with their children when they're having lots of emotions during this. Be sure to inform your workplace if you need a change to your regular schedule. So if you have a child that's dismissed from school, or if you have a member of your household who's sick, or if you are sick with COVID-19 or you have the symptoms, make sure you inform your employer right away. Take steps to protect your children during the outbreak. So if your child or children become sick with COVID-19, notify their caregiver facilities or schools immediately. Keep track of your school dismissals in your community and discourage children and teens from gathering in other public places while school is dismissed to help the spread of COVID-19 in the community. So that means sleepovers, parks, things. We want to limit those interactions with our kids at this time. After COVID-19 has ended in your community, follow up. Make sure you are still in communication with all those on your emergency contact list. Follow up with public health officials to determine if the outbreak has ended in your community, and take time to improve your household plan if you found holes or gaps in them. Discuss and note lessons that you learned during the outbreak. Participate in community discussions about emergency planning, and continue to practice everyday preventative actions because they also help with other viral infections. Take care of your emotional health and other household members' emotional health, and help your child cope with the effects after COVID-19 is done. If you have any more questions about COVID-19 and what to do, please go to www.cdc.gov/COVID-19. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day and that you guys are staying safe and healthy.